I'm back. It's been a while since I've been on this channel, like a week. I know. I usually post more, but I've been super busy, y'all. So the title. I'm gonna wait for a few more to show up. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, hi everybody. So the title, play dumb to get more from men. Okay. This is one of my problems when I do consultations for women. They seem to have bad luck and strike out with men quick, especially men with money, because they're too smart and they talk too much. And that's not a bad thing. It's not. It's a good thing. But they don't need to know how smart you are, how much money you make, or how accomplished you are, because they don't care. Okay? How are you doing, everyone? They don't care. Like, who wants to sit there and hear about your career and how smart you are and how many degrees you got and how good you doing at work and how many promotions you got? Who cares? They don't care. They're men. Okay? They can talk about that with their colleagues and their coworkers. They want to talk to you to feel happy, to feel good, to feel important, to feel like a man. Okay? And so when you get up there and you're on the date and he's like, so tell me about yourself. And you start talking about your job and your accomplishments and all the things that you've done. It's like, now it's a competition. So he has to outdo you. And if he doesn't feel like he can outdo you or that you'll be easily impressed, then he's going to give up. He's going to be like, let me go over here and get Sharkeisha because she's impressed by, what I can do. This lady here, she's seen too much. She's done too much. She earns too much money. She's a career woman. Nothing I'm going to do is going to impress her. So let me just get through this date so I can not call her back. Okay? You got to play dumb. When a man goes out with you, he wants you to shut up, look pretty, sit back and listen and laugh at all his stupid jokes and know a little something so that you can keep up and understand what he's talking about. Not that you're going to be totally lost, because if you're too dumb, that's a turnoff. If you're too smart, that's a turnoff. You got to be somewhere beneath him so that he feels like he's teaching you something. Even though if your IQ is way higher than his, if you're smarter than him, you have to act dumber than him, okay? Because men like to teach women. They like women to look up to them. They like to feel manly and masculine, and their ego is too fragile if you're smarter than them. And most women actually are very intelligent and very successful, and they can't keep the attention of a financially successful man, because a financially successful man who could have any woman doesn't want a competition. So that's why I say, if you're going to start dating men, play dumb. You get more, okay? I had someone write me and they were like, well, the guy I'm dating, he was going to give me this and that, and then after we had the date and we talked for a while, now he's not talking about doing this for me anymore. I said, well, you probably talked too much and revealed too much about yourself, and he thinks you're a smart girl, and that now those little things like giving you this thing is not going to impress you. And he feels like, if you make all this money, if you're that smart, then you're just using me. If you're really stupid and dumb and like, oh, I'm so impressed by you giving me $1,000. It's just like, this made my year. He's going to be happy to give it. But if you make that much money and one day at work and you're a career woman and you expect money or gifts or trips, he's not going to do that, because now you're his equal. I'm trying to plug this. Okay. So now you're his equal. So he doesn't want to give to you. Okay? So play dumb. Don't tell him how much you make. Listen to his dumb stories, okay? A lot of women will like, well, I went to school, I have all these degrees, I'm smart, and sometimes I can't help it. It just comes out in conversation. Well, that's where acting comes in. You got to practice, or listen more. You know what I'm saying? Let them talk more, and you just listen, and then praise them. Act like they taught you something. Oh, I never knew that. That's very interesting. You're so smart. You know so much. I love picking your brain. even though you know all that stuff, memorized it, and he probably made some mistakes, and what he said was totally wrong, don't correct him, okay? Women that correct men, bye. They're not going to call you back. You have to make that man feel good about you. I mean, good about himself while he's with you, okay? He has to feel like the king of the world, the smartest guy in the room, the sexiest guy in the room, the most handsome guy in the room, the funniest guy in the room. And you have to make him feel high in a sense. So when he leaves your side, or when it's time to go home and you guys part for the evening, he's already going to miss you because now his high is coming down. And then next time he sees you, that high is going to return. That's what men like. Fun, to feel lifted, to feel high, to feel important, to feel masculine against a feminine woman. It's not a competition. And a lot of these ladies are out here trying to compete with a man on a date. And that's the wrong place. You compete with men at work for money, not on dates, not in life. Okay? This is how it's supposed to be. If you want a provider man, you want a man who's going to pay bills, you can't be his competition. You have to be impressed with him. Don't talk too much. They don't want to hear, they don't care about your career unless they're trying to get money out of you. Okay? Okay. I picked a smart guy and he knew I was faking. Well, you can't overdo it, you know. You can't overdo it. Sometimes you got to be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. Thank you for reminding me." Like if you're too smart to play dumb, then play like you forgot and he just reminded you and you're still impressed because he knew that. Like, "Oh my God, you knew that? You know, that was somewhere in the back of my mind. I just had forgot about it, but oh my God, you reminded me." You are so smart. You know, I have not met a man who was on that level intellectually. Oh my gosh, you know. And just keep talking about how smart he is, even though you already knew that. And you can't fake it and they know you're too smart, then that's what you have to do. You have to like pretend you forgot about it and how impressed you are that he knows about it. And don't try to compete. This is the time that women will try to compete like, "Oh, I bet you didn't know this," or "I bet you didn't know that." At this time, you would be like, "Well, what else do you know? You know, you might teach me something." Now you can play dumb because now you've boosted him up. Now he thinks he's super smart. And, well, what else do you know? You know? And then like, I think I heard about that, but I didn't know about it in that depth. Oh my gosh. Now you got him eating out your hand. So, play dumb. Men like to rescue women too. Don't act like you have it all taken care of. Don't act like you have everything under control. Be a damsel in distress. Men like to rescue women. They like to help you. So always have something coming up. Always have an issue, but not something that's too much, but just enough for him to feel like he's saving you. Like, build him up to think it's going to be something big. Like, "Oh my God, I'm so worried. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just so stressed out." He'll be like, "Well, what are you talking about? What are you talking? I need new tires on my car. I need a new tire on my car." "Oh, that's it?" He's thinking you're going to ask him for like the rent money or pay your car note, "Oh, how much do you need for tires?" That's hair and nail money right there. So, bam, build it up so he thinks you're getting ready to ask for a lot and then bring it down. Then he'll give it to, "Oh, that's it? Okay, here you go." Because they'll give you more because then they'll feel like if they give you a little bit more, you'll be impressed. You know what I mean? So then, now they're in the habit of saving you, coming to your rescue. Now that they've done it once, it's going to be easier to ask the next time. You know what I mean? So a lot of women will say, "Well, I don't want any guy to pay for my stuff. I'm independent. I'm this, I'm that." Men hate that. Men hate when women say that unless they're trying to use you. Okay? Unless they're trying to climb you to get to their next level so they can leave you for the next chick in the future. Okay? So don't go around thinking because you're independent women that's attractive to men. Men say that because they want to use your resources. Okay? Because if you were independent and they were a provider, they wouldn't care. And in fact, if you were independent and you were with a provider, they would feel like, okay, well, she could leave me at any time. Do I really need to invest in her if she makes more money than me, or this and that? They'll probably go for someone who makes a lot less money than they do, so that they don't have to worry about any of that. Yeah. Someone says when you say independent, you attract freeloaders. That's true. Don't ever say independent. No, never say, I work, but I still need a little help. They want to help you because they think if they help you, they can gain your confidence, your trust, your love. You're not you're not trying to come into the situation to boss them around or to create or build a man, because they're already established. They want to feel like the man when they're with you, so they're going to help you. So that's what you need to realize. If you're a man and you're watching this, women like stability and they like masculinity. If you're coming here asking, what do you bring to the table? What can you do? How many bills can you pay? Let's build together. You're going to get a Pygmy chick. And y'all know what Pygmy chicks are. Those are women who are so desperate for men, they will sacrifice their femininity and their self-value just to say they have a man. And they will take on half the duties of a man just to be with a man, okay? And there are always those ones in the comments that are, saying, well, a woman should work and help her man and hold her man down and do this and that and enable him to be mediocre. Okay, that's all they're saying. So if you're with one of those chicks, you're gonna climb her back, save your money, and then when you get tired of having a mother, a boss, a what do you call it? A co-worker, because that's what she's gonna be, and a roommate, and you want a woman to look up to you as a man, you're going to leave her and go get someone beneath your level that you can impress. That's what always happens. Because you've been in a marriage so long, your wife has helped you got to where you got. She's like, okay, well, I did half the work, so, I helped you. Now you can't even feel like a man in your own home because the woman that you're living with is going to take all the credit because she helped you. So you can't even feel like a man in your own house. You can't even be the head of household in your own house if she's paying half the mortgage or half the bills. You're not, the woman automatically takes the lead because she has the children, okay? So you will never get that lead role if you're not providing. You will never get the respect either. And, the kids are going to see that as well. They're going to see you getting disrespected. They're going to be like, well, why does mommy talk to daddy like that? Because mommy pays for half the rent. Or half the mortgage, or more than half, Mommy makes more money than daddy, so daddy don't count. So then those little kids are going to start treating guys like their mother treats their daddy. They're going to start saying, well, you don't do this and you don't do that, so I'm in control. You do what I say. The boys are going to grow up looking at the women like the women are in control, and then they're going to go look for a woman just like their mother. Look, you need to take care of me, or, I need you to make X amount of money because I saw my daddy, So y'all got to stop that. Y'all got to step up and be men again and stop looking for Pygmy chicks to climb, have children with, then jump ship and leave for Sharkeisha, okay? So y'all need to stop. And when I refer to Sharkeisha, I mean someone easily impressed by your little, mediocreness. Or the little success that you got from climbing on the independent woman's back. That's what I'm talking about. So, and I'm not mad because it happens all the time and people don't realize what's going on until it's too late, But if you're just getting into this situation, it's not too late. If you're meeting someone, if you're dating and you see a pattern start to emerge, like, why does this dude want me to pay anything, then you can get out quick because you know exactly where it's heading. If you want to pay so you can have power as a woman because you don't want to be powerless in your relationship, remember, you're still going to drive that man away eventually down the line. He's going to go find someone who thinks he's powerful. Okay? And she's going to be less than you. Anyways, my dog is barking outside. There's people walking their dogs and he's barking. But yeah, so playing dumb as a woman, not being so independent, not being this, and that will get you further and will attract more successful men to you. You ever notice all the men, or most of the men who are rich, attractive, or just rich, their wives are not super intelligent. Some of them are, but for the most part, they're not like these geniuses. They just look good and they let him lead. They're not in competition with him. They're not trying to outdo him. They're not paying anything, basically. They're just there to be his wife or his woman, not his competitor, not his boss, not his instructor, not his life coach, but his woman. Okay? If you're your man's life coach, his mother, if you're his bank, if you're his ATM, if you're his roommate, then you're not his wife. Okay? Or his woman. He's climbing your back so he can get to his woman. But playing dumb on a date will ensure you, like when you first start meeting guys, if you're going out with successful men, play dumb. I promise you, you'll get more dates. And if you're too smart, they're not calling you back. Okay? So act dumb. I acted so dumb with my husband. He had no idea I knew anything. Like, all I cared about when I was dating him, all I cared about was music, clubs, drinking, clothes. I had degrees but I didn't talk about it because I never wanted to go back to work. So why would I brag on something that would actually insinuate that I should be working? I'm like, I don't know nothing about nothing. So, years after we got married, he realized how intelligent I was, how much I knew. I actually knew more than he did, on many subjects. And he was impressed, but then I saw his face. Like I saw how impressed he was, and then I saw how betrayed he felt. Like, you were acting. Okay. Yes, I'm alive. What's going on?
I just want to hug my mama.
Hi, Sasha. All right, y'all can get out. Were y'all fighting over the remote? Why don't you go watch TV in there? But turn it down. And kids. Playing dumb never worked for me. Well, okay. Playing dumb. Okay, you got to understand. You have to, first of all, if it doesn't work for you, you have to really be honest with yourself. Like, if you don't have anything else going on but your brain, that's what you have to use. If your competition is not, if your looks aren't strong, if your body isn't attractive, and all you have is your brain, that's what you're going to have to use. And chances are, those are the targets that people will, zoom in on to climb. Okay? You got to be careful. Because if they're just looking for a brain, they're looking for somebody who's smart, who got a good job, career, that can work and build them up to that next level, so they can jump off that ship and go and get a woman that they really want. So you got to be careful. It's very important to work on your outward appearance when you're dating. Okay? Men are visual creatures. If you go out the house trying to date looking busted and you wonder why no one's calling you back, that's why. Okay? You can't expect a man to fall in love with your brain only or your personality. Okay? Because first of all, they got to be seen out with you in public. They might want to have children with you, And I'm not trying to be rude, Makeup and wigs can do wonders. You know what I'm saying? As long as you look good in the public eye, then you have a chance. Okay. Yeah. If you're at, okay, a lot of people don't like to face this. Looks are important, okay? If you're, and looks, you don't have to be born with looks. People can buy looks. You can buy looks. You can buy weave. You can buy makeup. You can buy whatever, you know. You can do what it takes to look good. But you can't be lazy. You gotta put in that work. Um, men will say they don't like makeup, they don't like this and that, but as soon as someone walks by, that's what they're looking at. So don't listen to what they like. They like their women at home to look like that, so nobody else wants them. Okay. Yeah, beauty does fade eventually, but have you ever heard a man say, "I'm gonna go get the most average looking chick or the ugliest chick and marry her"? No, never heard that. You've heard beauty fades, but they're not marrying those women after it fades. Okay. So beauty fades when you get old, yes. But while you're young and you're trying to date and you're trying to get married and land a husband so that you can grow old gracefully, then you got to use what you got. Hmm. Yeah. Someone says anything a man hates, they secretly love. That's true. Um, so you have to realize you got to put in effort. You got to put in work. Okay, I'm trying to read what they're saying. Like I said, okay, someone says that I hear bitches manipulate men very easily. If you don't look pretty when you're being a bitch, it's not gonna work. Like I said, that's why when you argue with a man, make sure you look your best. Make sure you looking sexy and you looking beautiful when you're arguing. You can't be a bitch and be ugly. Those two don't mix. You gotta look good and act bad. Okay? I'm not saying you're ugly because I can't see your picture. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna be rude to guys, you gotta look good while you're doing it. Okay? That's what they like. Right? How can I get a man to want to buy me stuff? Make up stories. Um, just make up a sob story. I've been so stressed at work. I've been working nonstop. I haven't really been able to do anything for myself lately. I really would like, I used to take myself once a month shopping, and, now I can't really do that. So it's kind of like, it's kind of putting me in a bad mood. I might have to go get like a side job, cocktail waitressing at night, name some rich side of town. On this side of town, so, I can have those, simple pleasures again. And then he'll be like, well, how much do you need? I'll take you shopping. Because he's not going to want you cocktail waitressing in the rich area of town where you can meet even richer men who's going to say, hey, why are you working? Let me take care of you. So that's how you can get it done. That worked for one of my clients. Just say you have to get another job. I don't know anybody named Amal Pygmy. Sorry. Okay. Thanks for the amazing consultation yesterday. Oh, you're welcome, Erica. I've been doing consultations, kind of help women on, in dating and stuff like that. Okay. Getting women is easy, but to find a black woman to be submissive, that's another story. But still, I love. Well, if you can find one that's submissive, they're acting, darling. And you got to have money to get a woman to be submissive, especially a black woman. If you ain't got no money, you ain't getting no submission. Because submission really means trust. They trust you enough with their heart, with their body, with their life, with their finances to let you lead. If you're not in a leadership role, no woman is going to submit to you unless they're stupid, okay? And if they do submit to you, they're playing a game as well. Maybe they like you because You're not like anybody they've ever had before. But see, black women, they're like, okay, if I'm going to give my heart, soul, love, cooking, everything to this man, I got to trust him enough to put my life in his hand, which means submission. If you can't take care of a bill, if you always late, if you can't keep no job, ain't nobody going to submit to that. And that's just the truth. You know, if we need our bills paid for the month, we'll pretend to submit to you. You know, if we need a little something, we'll pretend. But the real reason that we can't submit to you is because you are not financially stable. You know, you always say, oh, well, I see when white guys and black women are together, the black woman is submissive. Yeah, because he's paying for everything. He ain't got his arm out saying, hey, give me some money. Or you got to pay for this one. Or let's go to Applebee's 2 for $20. You know, he got it. So that's why we can't submit like that. And I'm submissive to my husband because he got everything. You know, he pays for everything. I don't have to worry about nothing. So I can submit comfortably. And it's real. It's not fake. It's not an act. Because I trust that when I wake up, the lights are going to be on. The mortgage is going to be paid. The cars are going to be in the driveway. The kids are going to have food. I trust that. So I can breathe. I can exhale. You know the movie Exhale? Waiting to exhale. That's what that's all about. We can't submit because you won't commit and be financially stable. That's just it. Sorry. Okay. You know, that's why a lot of women date older men because they're already able to, you know, submit to them naturally as well as they're naturally already financially stable. So, you know, you're going to have to go for a younger woman if you want submission. And you have to be able to impress her, you know. You're going to have to be able to, like, take her out. If she's used to McDonald's, yeah, Applebee's is an upgrade, okay? Okay. Having trouble meeting fake ballers in the beginning and disappearing. Go for older guys, okay? Older guys seldom fake ball. Younger guys do that, you know. Look up their address on Google. You can see if they own that place or not. You know, Google them, do research before you even go out. You'll see if they're fake ballers or not. And that way you can just cancel the date. How do you feel about natural hair? I feel like, you know, if you're trying to date a wealthy man and you have to be around his, you know, colleagues, his people, invited to certain things, then you're going to have to fit in. That's just how it has to be. You're going to have to fit in, or he's going to have to accept you as you are and, you know, not care what people think. So whichever one you think you can pull off, that's what you can do. But majority of the women who go for successful men, that I'm not talking low six figures. I'm talking millions, high six figures to millions to multi-millions. You know, it just all depends on their lifestyle. I would say to attract and to bring them in, you know, in our group on Facebook, the women who have had natural hair or very curly hair have straightened their hair, put it on the profile pictures, and they've been getting rich guys like this. Like, you know, I'm not saying you have to do that, but it brings them in faster. Because, you know, the first thing they're going to see is your hair. They're not going to focus on this. They're just going to see your hair. Oh, she's wild. That looks wild. And y'all know I used to wear my hair curly. And I still wear my hair curly. But to certain men, and they're thinking it's something that they don't want to be, you know, with, because I can't bring her around, you know, her hair's too wild, you know. Some men love it. Some men will be like, hey, I love it, don't change. But the experiment was done, and the women who straightened their hair got more hits in their inbox, trips, money, and stuff like that quick. You know, before there was in there not much, fake ballers, you know, da da da. Then all of a sudden, money, trips, you know, cruises, things like that. So I feel like if you got to get a wig, get a wig. You ain't got to straighten your hair. Men like straight hair over curly hair in all races. They've done studies. Yeah, that's true. It's sad, but it's true. Like when I cut my hair and started wearing it straight, my husband like, we going out this weekend. You know, I'm like, what? Okay. Or go buy something to wear. I'm gonna take you out. Blah 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 blah. Like I'm going out tomorrow. Uh, I mean, we would still go out. My hair is curly, but it was more me saying, I'm bored. Let's go out. But now he's saying, let's go out. So I think it's just because they have this association with hair being, a beauty status or a symbol of beauty. I don't know. Whatever. What do we talk about? Let them talk. Let them do all the talking. If they ask you a question, just ask them what they think. Like, say, well, I don't know. I just thought that that meant something else. But you're teaching me. Keep talking. I'm learning a lot from you. You're so mesmerizing. Just keep throwing it back on them. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. That is so interesting. I need to do some more reading. Do you have any suggestions? Or maybe we could watch the History Channel together on sci-fi one day. What's your favorite TV show? Start acting dumb by asking about TV. When they're talking about something smart. Well, what's your favorite TV show? Just change the subject. Don't go too deep into it. Even if you're passionate about the subject, stop yourself. Just show a little bit of interest and say, oh, that's so interesting. I would love to learn more about that. But don't go too deep, because they don't like that. They want to be the smart one. I know it's funny, but they want to be the smart one. Someone says, if a woman can't teach me something, I don't want her. Well, if a woman can't teach you something, if you're trying to learn something from a woman, first of all, if you're trying to learn something from a woman, it should be after you guys are in a relationship. When she's secure enough that you are not going to leave because she's smart. You know what I'm saying? On the first date, you don't want her to outdo you and impress you, because all you're going to do is try to climb her back and, learn from her. And then you're going to run in somebody's inbox thinking you all smart and spiritual and try to talk to her and teach her something, teach Sharkeisha. You want her knowledge to teach this chick over here. So that don't work. I know y'all do it. I see it. I'm on Facebook all day. I see it. I see somebody take everything I say word for word and put it in Sharkeisha's inbox. Copy and paste. Okay? But at least they paid for it, So, you don't want a woman unless she can teach you something to impress some other woman, right? We know the game is too late. It's too late. I'm not downing you. I'm just saying, men think they want a woman that can teach them something until they're in a situation where another woman pops up and they think that they're attractive. So they just repeat what that woman taught him to that woman to get that woman's attention. And now that woman thinks you're smart. So really, you do want a dumb woman to teach after you've been taught. It's kind of like, that's why you want a smart woman, so you can go and teach other people, because you really want to feel intelligent. Because then it becomes a competition. Like, if you can't impress your woman with your brain, she's going to grow bored of you, and you're going to feel like emasculated compared to her. No one's going to listen to you because you don't know what you're talking about. When she's talking, people are going to tell you to be quiet. Do you really want that? So, okay, so do y'all have any questions? I'm going to take questions now because I'm not going to be on here forever. I'm not going to be on here forever. Y'all asking 1,000 questions. Um, be in your femininity, but not doing male things. Don't pay for nothing. Don't try to impress people with what you know. You know, expect to be treated like a woman. You know, uh, look beautiful all the time. Look soft. Where don't look masculine. You know, don't talk masculine. Don't scream. Don't yell. Don't shout. You know, smile. You know, don't offer. Don't give too much of yourself. You know, make them chase you. That's how you wear dresses. Stop wearing jeans and stuff all the time. Wear something beautiful from time to time. Spoil yourself. Take care of yourself. Nails, hair. You know. Expect to be treated wherever you go. Like, okay, you gonna pay? hmm Okay. Yeah, I've already done my things for tonight. So you're gonna have to catch me Sunday or next Thursday. Let me see. Dinner and drinks tomorrow for a guy I just met. Any good advice? Play dumb. Laugh at everything he does. Make him feel good about himself. Like, give him a high. You know, like, you know, you smell so good. What is that you're wearing? Oh my God, you know, you're so interesting. Make him feel like the best thing in the world. So, like I said earlier in the video, he wants to see you again as soon as possible because you make him feel high. And make sure you look good. Look good so everybody is envious that he's with you. Okay? Don't just come up there looking blah. Look a little bit special. Okay? Wear something pretty. So that other men are looking and thinking the guy you're with is lucky. Okay? Okay. Can ladies find successful men on social media? Oh yeah, there's so many websites with rich men looking for women to take care of. That's all we do in our group. We post about the guys that they're dating. A lot of the girls are like sugar babies and dating these rich guys and getting trips and money and shopping and purses and jewelry and stuff like that. So they will list you all the websites and everything. There's free books in there on how to get money out of guys, how to be a sugar baby, how to marry a millionaire. All the PDFs are free. So it's like they have like a library of resources to learn from other girls that are doing exactly, you know, what they want to be doing so they can learn from the other girls. Also, my advice, because I'm in there all the time, and other women who got, you know, who got what they want out of guys, who can teach the new girls how to get it. Because, you know, I've seen girls in my group, they went in like 4 months from dating a broke bum to dating a multimillionaire in less than 4 months. Because I don't know how long my group been open, but they've all, you know, they came in, they got their information, they started getting on these websites, talking to these guys, getting paid, you know, going on dates, meeting millionaires, you know, getting to go shopping and all this stuff. So, you know, they didn't kick their old cheap boyfriend to the curb, and now they're getting what they deserve, you know. So it has nothing to do with love either. You know, if they fall in love, great. If they don't, whatever. They're more after being treated like they want to be treated. You know, they're more after the lifestyle and knowing their value as a woman. Because when a lot of these women get married, they want that lifestyle, not the love, because they've already experienced the love, and it doesn't pay the bills, and it doesn't guarantee you're not going to be cheated on, and it doesn't guarantee you're going to have a good life. But that money does. That money guarantees a good life. Even if you get cheated on, you can be like, oh well, psh. let's go to Louis Vuitton. Okay, oh well, let's go on a vacation. Let's go on a cruise. Oh well, I can cheat too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about that anymore because they've already been through that. They've already been in love and gave their all to some dude, and the dude just, proved them right. You know, I should have gone for the money. So now they're ready. They're like, okay, I'm ready. Let me get these tips. Let me get this information. Let me go play dumb on this date. Let me go laugh at this old man joke. Let me get my shopping spree. Let me get my Louis Vuitton. Let me get my Chanel. Let me get my trip, and let me go enjoy my life. You know, I'm done dealing with broke dudes. Let me move forward. That's what these women are about. So, a lot of women who are still looking for love, good luck. You'll find it. You might not keep it, or you might not want it after a certain point, and then you might want money later. You know what I mean? If you can get both, you're gonna be lucky. And sometimes when a man wants to do everything for you, you fall in love with them anyway. It's like, dang, he wants to make sure I'm happy. That's love. When you want to take care of somebody fully, that's when you will submit to someone, because you trust that they're going to take care of you. So that's what it's about. And sometimes it's not about that at all. It's just about getting what you can get and getting out. It just all depends. The constant flip-flops. I was just reading someone, they're cold and then they're hot with their significant other, like upset, nice, upset, nice. Is that why they stick around? Yeah, because you're a challenge. They're constantly trying to figure out how to please you. And when you're happy, they feel high. When you're mad, they feel low, and they want to feel high again, so they stick around and try to improve. You know what I'm saying? So, but you can't be ugly doing that, because they'll be like, I ain't got to take this. I was just using you anyway. You got, you got to make sure that when you're being a bitch, you look good too. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be looking crazy and yelling and screaming. They're gonna just get up and go. Whenever I get mad, I make sure I look good. I'm like, hold on. I strategize my anger. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be mad for this, and that. Let me make sure I look good. Put some perfume on. Put a cute outfit on. All right, now I can be mad. I can't believe. Okay, now imagine that with your hair bonnet on, a ratty nightgown, or some ugly t-shirt, no makeup, bags. I can't believe, then I'm like, they're not gonna hear nothing you saying. They're gonna be looking at the monster. Okay, so when you get mad, you gotta look good. That is true, because they're not gonna be focused on your anger. They're gonna be focused on what you look like when you're angry. Those looks are so sexy. Oh, I can't believe. And when you're acting and you're getting mad, you know how you look in the mirror because you practice, and you go, I can't believe you did that. What were you thinking? You just get on my nerves so bad. Then they'll be turned on. And they're like, okay, whatever. I'll fix it. I'll do whatever you say. I'm sorry. Because you dressed, you look good. If you that mad, you can walk out the house, and you walk out the house mad, looking good. You might go have a drink at the bar. You might listen to what this dude has to say. You might let somebody buy you a drink. You know what I'm saying? So always look good, dress to impress, like you can walk out and leave looking sexy. He ain't gonna let you leave. He's gonna try to fix the problem right there. But if you're not an attractive woman and you're with an attractive man, they're just using you. Okay? They don't want you for real. They're climbing your back. If you're not an attractive woman, you need to get a not attractive man. Okay? Because he's at least gonna be real with you. You know what I mean? he's gonna be afraid to lose the woman that he finally got after all these years. You know, he's just happy to have you, but don't go trying to pull that stuff if your guy look better than you, because it doesn't work. Right? Someone says I turn gold diggers into nuns. They're acting. Okay. So somebody said my sugar daddy is older than my parents too. Well, that's good. Then they'll feel responsible for you and want to take care of you. You know, because like then you can use that against them. Like I'm just I'm only this age. I'm only 20 something, and you're like 50. You know, why you? I don't pay for anything when I'm with you. You pay for everything. Everything is your treat. You old enough to be my daddy. You know, so that's another way to get out of anything. Plus getting gifts. You know, they have more money than someone your age because they work longer, and they should have had more stability and higher paying jobs or careers. Someone said they passed up a meet and greet at Red Lobster. Good, because I hate those commercials. They make the food look this big, and when you get there, the shrimp like that small. I'm like, what the heck is this? No, Red Lobster is like, even Olive Garden has bigger shrimp than Red Lobster. You know what I'm saying? Go to Joe's Crab Shack. Actually, that's not really fancy, but the food is better. Landry's, pick a Landry's restaurant. At least that's decent. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to no Red Lobster. What if I'm talking to the cashier or some? Do I sound dumb? If you're talking to a cashier, like if you're talking to the cashier in front of the guy, yeah, play dumb. It's like, oh, how much? Oh, wow, blah blah blah. Yeah, act stupid. The more ditzy you act, the more you can get. Don't go to, somebody said Golden Corral. No, don't go to Golden Corral. My friend teased me and said Red Lobster wasn't a date when I told her about it, but it really wasn't. I was going out with my homeboy. And same one that gives me money now. Well, if they're giving you money and they want to eat Red Lobster, let them go eat Red Lobster. As long as they're paying you, then go wherever they want to eat. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're getting paid. They might just like those cheese biscuits. You never know. Is Netflix and chill good enough? Only if you live in a mansion, baby. And you got butlers. Then we could do Netflix and chill. But you can't do Netflix and chill unless you are rich and your house is nice. And you've already been out on dates. And now you're ready to chill for real. You got a theater room? Can we do Netflix in your theater room? Okay. So you need to buy a wig and play dumb. You got it. Yep. You gotta play dumb. To get some money. So, I know it sounds bad. I know it sounds like demeaning and beneath you. But when you get out there back in the dating world and you realize these guys aren't calling you back, then you're gonna listen. It's not that you have to do this. It's just that's what they like. That's what they call back. That's what they wife. That's what they take out. That's what they give money to. That's who they take shopping. I mean, look at Black China. She played dumb. She played stupid. She got what she wanted. She has a college degree. She has her own business. But she played dumb. and got exactly what she wanted. Now, people don't like her, but she knew what she was doing from the start. Hmm. No one wants to be Black China, but she did set the standard for gold diggers. You know, um, just I mean, she's an entrepreneur. She owns her own business. She has a college degree. Yeah, she was a stripper, but she's still getting paid in other ways. She's a spokesperson for a few online clothing stores as well. So she's getting her money too on the side, but she's getting some from men too. Why not? Why can't you have it both ways? Why can't you be a business owner, entrepreneur, college graduate, and still be a gold digger? You know, I don't see why you can't do both. Now she can launch her business to the next level. Not y'all females need to stop being evil. Karma will come back and get you. Well, karma can get you anyway if you dating a broke guy because you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. You know, um, you might as well date rich, get rich, and let karma get you while you're rich. I'd rather that karma come for me while I'm rich because I can pay my way out of it than karma come for me when I'm poor. Plus, I don't believe in karma. The only way that something is coming to you is if you're attracting it to yourself. If you feel guilt about something, you're going to attract the punishment. If you don't feel guilty about anything, about what you're doing, and you think it's perfectly normal and it's okay, then you're not going to attract any guilt to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might piss someone off and they might come for you, but if you're smart, you protect yourself. So I don't believe in karma. That's something that you agree to, not something that you believe in. It's like, okay, do I feel this guilt? Should I feel this guilt that's been put on women by society? Yes or no? No, I don't feel it. Okay. Some women do. Oh, I feel bad. Something bad gonna happen because I did A, B, C, and D. I know something bad gonna happen. I'm waiting for it. You're attracting it. So therefore, that's your karma. Whatever you start attracting to you. Black China, she don't care. She been doing that already. She was a stripper. She knows how to get money out of men. And her karma has not hit yet because she keeps getting paid. Okay? So I feel like she don't feel guilt about that, so she's not going to attract any punishment for it. You know? Society tries to put guilt on women, but women no longer feel that guilt, especially women who know how powerful they are. They know, like, why would you put guilt on me? Because I can get what I want. That's power. You take the guilt away, all you got is the power left. I got power, zero guilt. That's it. If men are dumb enough to fall for it, that's not our fault. You know? It's just like a scammer. If you dumb enough to fall and give your social security number out over the phone and your bank account information over the phone, then you deserve to get scammed. Okay? That's your fault for being that dumb. If you think some beautiful woman is just gonna love you for you and she don't want nothing from you and you're paid, then you deserve to get gold dug. You know that woman is not there for you or your looks. You're there for something else, your money. And if you play the game right, you can keep her there a long time, and make her happy and give her what she wants, and she'll give you what you want. But if you're rich and you're trying to look for true love, then don't tell nobody you rich. Okay? Don't do it. Someone says, I'm learning not to feel guilty. Yeah. Don't feel guilty. Guys use women every day and talk about it and laugh about it. So why shouldn't you? At least they're not getting paid. They're actually, unless they're using women for money. But men usually mostly use women for sex. And if they don't feel guilt about it, why should you feel guilty about taking some money? They can get money back. They can go earn some more money. You can't get what you gave away back. Okay? So don't do it for free. Get paid. Get something out of it. Gifts, trips, expensive meals, whatever. You can't get anything back. They can earn some more money. Okay. They can earn more money. So y'all women only do things because men do it? Are y'all followers? Yep. Men are supposed to be leaders. You teach us. Men are supposed to be the leaders. You teach us how to treat you. We're the mirror of you. If you use us, eventually we're going to start reflecting that back to you. You don't use us and you treat us like queens and goddesses and princesses and give us what we deserve, then that's what we're going to do to you. But since y'all been using us, we got to start back using you, because that's just universal law. You know, that's cause and effect. That's polarity. If we don't start using you, something is wrong. Nature will be thrown off. You know what I'm saying? If you drop something and it doesn't hit the ground, something's wrong. If you slap something and no sound comes out, something is wrong. Every action has a reaction. Every cause has an effect. Okay? So now it's time for y'all to see yourselves through us. But we're going to be much worse because we're women. And y'all are men. The whole reason patriarchy became is because the power of woman is very strong, because it reveals the weakness of men. You know what I'm saying? Like, in every biblical story, the woman is always blamed, right? So I'm feeling like the only good stories about women in the Bible are those who are submissive to their husbands and do A, B, C, and D. You know, that's the only positive light that women are shown in the Bible. And then you have the ones that are shown as evil. They didn't listen to their men. They betrayed men. They seduced men. They did this, and that. And they were cast out and taught to be feared or cast out, right? So men always knew the power of women and that they were a weakness. So now you're getting ready, like, yeah, we were like, yeah, we want to do right. We want true love. We want to be happy. We want a good family. We want a faithful man. We want this. We want that. And then all that stuff started not happening. Like, it started fading. No guys are like that. So why would you have faithful good women when there's no faithful good men? You know, we have to reflect you. You can't have this and not be that. You're not going to attract that to you. If you're bad, you're unfaithful, you lie, you cheat, and you use, that's what you're going to attract. You know? You're not going to attract a good, faithful woman if you're not good and faithful. Even if you are good and faithful, it's so many guys out there doing everyone dirty. There's not many women left who feel like it's worth being good and faithful. It's like, you know what? They gonna use me. Let me get them first. Let me get some clothes, some jewelry, some bills paid, some shopping, a car. Then I'll see what they're really about. See if I like them, So that's just the truth. Men, even though y'all know this, y'all still gonna chase, so it doesn't even matter. That's why it's so easy. Too many men are thirsty. Right? Like, I don't care tonight, I'm drunk. I'm gonna spend all my money on strippers. Right? Because one status or success symbol is having a woman that you can provide for and buy things for, who looks good. That's a status symbol. I said that in my last video. You can have a nice car, a nice house, but when you're out and about walking around, you can't drive your car, into the restaurant. You can't show pictures of your house to the waiter, waitress, and all the people in the restaurant. You got to have a woman to represent how much you have, how much you can do, what type of woman can you pull. Woman is a status symbol. And if you can't afford a status symbol, just like you can't afford a nice car or a nice home, then you're not going to be able to show your status in public with Sharkeisha. Okay? They're just going to think you anybody. Like, the reason, okay, my husband just walked in like 30 minutes ago. He met the mayor tonight. Okay. Why? Let me tell y'all why he met the mayor. Because of me. I went out with him. Okay, y'all remember that night I did live feed and we were out and about? Well, the owner of that club saw him and gave him his card and say, hey, you look like somebody. You know, who are you? What do you do? Because he walked in there with me. And then he's like, oh, well, you can stop by during lunch and, you know, blah, 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 blah. So he works right around that area. He goes in there for lunch. Him and the guy are good friends. Owner of this club is rich. Drives Bentleys, know the mayor. Well, you need to get into politics, or you need to work with us, or you need to be a part of our little clique because of me. Because he saw him with me. If he would have walked in there by himself, single, he would not have gotten the attention of that guy. Okay? So, status symbol will take you further. Your woman will take you further. Your woman will make people say, who is that man? What does he do? He must be having some money. Okay? So, why can he get this young, good looking, attractive woman? What, he must be important. He must be somebody. So your status symbol. Women are not just women. They're powerful. Very powerful, and they can take you to the next level, especially if they look good and you treat them well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's other women that can get you to the next level too, but they're not going to be that status symbol to you. That's why every time somebody get famous or rich, they go get a status symbol type woman. Why? Because the other woman, yeah, they might have educated you, they might have taught you some things, and they might, be good with business, but they can't be your Ferrari. They can't be your Porsche. They can't be your Range Rover, So that's why they do that, So it's like men don't want to pay for dinner. That's not the type of man you need to be with anyway. Men don't want to provide. That's not the type of man you want to be with anyway. Go get someone who knows your value. You don't have to be the most beautiful woman in the world. Just get someone that knows your value and that will value you and who's proud of you. Yes. I know people think I'm conceited and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. I'm just being honest. I mean, I know I'm not the ugliest thing in the world. I know I look decent. Compared to my husband, I look real good, okay? So, me sitting next to him makes him look better. That's just how it is. That's science, okay? Now, there's... Oh, Sasha, again? You're so sweet.
Remember that drink that we made with all that? I put 1 sugar packet and some ice.
Aww. I hope this is good. I'm going to taste it. It actually is good. It tastes like a smoothie. Like a juice. Like you juiced berries and stuff. That's good, Sasha.
Okay, let me taste.
No, you didn't even taste it, and you gave it to me?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get that on my dress.
That's right.
Is that good? Thank you. Sasha always bringing me fruits. Thank you, Sasha. I'm getting my antioxidants. Blueberry. So, as long as you look better than your man, you're good. You'll be treated better. The women here are also poor. Most of the women that I know are not poor. They just want a man that makes more money than them. You know what I mean? Most of the women in my group are not poor. They just want a man that makes more money. That's hard to find. Not a man that makes the same amount of money or a little bit more, but more. So they can go do stuff, And men, don't be mad. Just go get your range of woman. Like, get your range. Like, some men try to date outside their range. Just go get your range, and she'll be happy to oblige you. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen some guys make videos talking about, oh, all these women, they're so conceited. They feel like they're God's gift to the planet, and da 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 da. And even though they're this and that, they expect to be treated like a princess, and they don't look like a princess, and they got all these kids and stuff like that. I'm like, well, why y'all still chasing them? You know? Hey, Sasha.
Alex first.
All right. You just want to be on camera. I know it. You can't help it. You think you look good too.
I don't.
That's your mama jeans. You just want to be on the camera, don't you? You're already vain. Get out of here. You gonna look better than me. Bye. She gonna look better than me when she grow up. Oh my gosh. I have to teach her now. Sasha, don't date him. So yeah. Oh, yeah. This guy. So a lot of these guys are always upset because women got children and they expect us to do this, this, and that. Yeah, but y'all still chasing them. Y'all are still chasing them. So it's not their fault. It's your fault. As soon as you hear something that you don't like about a woman, you stop trying to chase. You should stop trying to use. Okay? Because then you're gonna get caught up, and then she gonna be having your baby. So stop. Just walk away. If that's not the type of woman you want, stop chasing. Stop trying to get something free. Just walk away. If you can't benefit her, walk away. If you can't accept her children, walk away. Okay? Go find someone whose standards are high because they don't have, and who would never talk to you. Go chase them. Go try a challenge. And then when you realize don't nobody want you, then you're gonna be like, okay, well, that stupid guy on the video was wrong. I need to go back and make up with my ex, or the lady that I was interested in, even though she has kids and this and that. I was stupid for listening to that man, because every other woman that was single with no kids wanted a baller, and I just got this regular job. So I struck out every time because they didn't want me, because I wasn't good enough for them. So let me go back. That dude was wrong. Maybe that child needs a father figure in their life. Don't follow these guys out here who trying to tell you not to date women with children, because my mom dated men. She had 4 kids. She never had any trouble. She got married. So, and it wasn't an issue. But a lot of men will say it's an issue because they can't even afford to take care of themselves. So they can't take on a woman with a child because they don't have the finances to do that. So don't try to use a woman with a child either. Just bypass and let the next man who got it take care of them. Okay. Why ugly broke people always trying to make other people's life as bad as their life? Because they don't want you to accomplish anything, because it's gonna make them feel useless. Like, a lot of women have the problem where they're wanting to date up, and men with money, older guys with money, more sophisticated guys, and their friends are still stuck dating these thugs and who are running around getting Sharkeisha pregnant on the side and this and that. That's what they're used to, and they don't want you to have a better life than them. Okay, so they're gonna say, "Ooh, why you dating him? He old, he ugly." Oh, what about love? You don't have no chemistry with him. They're gonna be mad at you for trying to improve your lifestyle. Then they're gonna be like, I'm glad I got what I got with my man. Even though he been in jail and cheated and got 3 kids by 3 different women. They proud of that. They're not really proud of it. They just don't want you to have any better. As soon as you hear somebody hating on you like that, that's how you know that you're on the right path. You need to get to the next level quick and get you some new friends. Okay? New friends who are about that life, the lifestyle. You can't hang out with your old friends when you're trying to do better. unless you dragging them along and they want to do better too. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I'm on, if I can get on the computer with this video. Yeah, yeah. Nope. Okay, so even though you're like going back to the title of this video, you know, being smart never guarantees you a successful relationship anyway. So, you know, men just said in the comment, why can't you be submissive? Men like feminine, submissive women. And if men like those type of women, if they're not trying to use them, if they're trying to use you, they want you to be just as masculine as them so that you can help out and pay half these bills. But any man who expects their woman to be submissive is either A, delusional, or B, paid. Okay? Make sure you get the one that's paid. Because a woman can never be honestly submissive unless she's fully taken care of and trusting her life in his hands. That's it. You want a submissive woman? Make sure she don't worry about nothing financial. There you go. Make sure nobody can come and take her away because you offering so much. You know, that's how you can get a submissive woman. She's not going to loud talk you in public. She's not going to call you out your name in public. She's not going to embarrass you because you take care of her. Why would she do that to you? She has respect for you after that. She's like, dang, you know, he does everything. I don't have to do anything. You know, he's the leader. He, you know, even though secretly you make a lot of the decisions, but you make him think it's his idea, he thinks he's the leader, and you want him to think that. You want to keep him on that level because you do trust him. Like you know he's not going to go out and spend all the money on strippers because he's got money. He fully takes care of you. Every bill is paid. Your car is paid. You live in a good neighborhood. You don't have to worry about nothing. You know, you don't even have to work. So of course you're going to be submissive to that. But men don't like you to be in competition with them. You can't go tit for tat with a man. They don't like that. That's not feminine. If they're going to compete, it's going to be with another man. So they don't want to compete with the person that they're sleeping with. Right? Yeah. Someone asked, why do men think it's about dick size? It's about money. That's true. All these men think, oh, she just needs some sex. Oh, let me put it on her. Most of the time, women faking that too. Women like money. Okay? Girls like sex. Women like money. So if you think it's all about the D, go for somebody 23 and under. Anybody above that, they want to know you can do something for them. Okay? Because there's women that are walking around here dating men with stuff this small, but house this big. You know what I'm saying? So, no. They sell machines in the store for that. They said black men want black women to act nice to us. Well, get yourself together, become a man. Because I always see, you know, if you're a boy pretending to be a man, we can't be nice to somebody who's not what we need and want. You know what I'm saying? If you step to me and you say, I'm gonna pay for everything, I got you. You don't have to work. You know, blah 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 blah. We're gonna be nice. You're gonna be like, oh yeah. You come to me saying you gotta work, pull half these bills, get up, take care of kids, do this, this, and that, and then be submissive to me, then we gonna laugh in your face. You know, some women might do it, but then they'll pull their rank. They'll be like, no, I'm in charge. You know, I do just as much as you and more. So if you want a black woman to be nice to you, you have to be a full provider. That's just how it's got to be, you know. Just like, first of all, as a black woman, I'm married to a black man, and he supplies all my needs. If he didn't, I wouldn't have married him. That's just straight up. I would not have married him if he couldn't do that. That was the number one thing that I wanted in my marriage. Provider. You can't do that, I can't be nice to you. You know? That's just how it goes. On to the next. I can't deal with you unless you're a man. And that's what men do. They provide for their women. So you want to be treated nice? Go become a provider male. Everybody will treat you nice. You can get respect from men. How to make my ideas his ideas. Hint around to something. Look at pictures. Say, oh, this looks cool. This vacation looks cool. That looks, hint around. Kind of like give him clues and hints to where he's going to put it together and then come up with the idea on his own. Like if you want to move, start, if you want to move into a nicer house, start pointing out pictures of nice houses, or whenever you drive by a house, say, ooh, that's a nice house, Get all excited when you see a nice house or commercial for, real estate, property in neighborhoods. And he's going to see that you're responding to that. So then he's going to like, maybe we should move, or let's go look at nice houses, or have like bring home a house magazine from the grocery store and leave it on the counter like you were looking at it, but don't ever say nothing to him. Then he might glance at it and he's like, oh, this is a cheap house. This is a nice house. Then he's like, did you buy this magazine? And she's like, oh, no, I picked that up by accident. I thought it was something else. Well, this is a nice house. Oh, really? Let me see. There you go. You got to just lay stuff in front of him so he thinks he comes up with the idea. It's like planting seeds. Yeah. Mhm. Some people say, my dad divorced my mom because she wouldn't support him financially. Now my mom only wants to date rich men and pay for everything. That's right. And no grown man should be asking for a woman to support him unless that's his mama. He should be supporting his mama after he's grown anyway, like, or helping his mom. That's like, if you're a grown man and you can't contribute anything to your woman, your home, your mother, your children, then you're not a grown man. You just in a grown man's body. You don't have the mentality of a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Because grown men take responsibility and they do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? So you can't expect women to respect you if you can't do those things. I'm not mad at them. There's a lot of guys out there that can't do it, won't do it, will never do it. I'm not mad at them. I just don't deal with them. And many women are stopped dealing with them. Many women have stopped dealing with them. So ladies, if you stop enabling men and stop dealing with these guys, they're going to get up and go do something. They can't sit there forever. They can try to date this person and this race, go to this country, do this. They can try to do everything but become the man that they're supposed to be. And when all those options are gone, then they're going to have to step up. You know what I'm saying? They can try to lead a country with their tax check to go get laid by women that's out of their league in the States. They can go hop the race fence, like someone said in the comments, until they get sick of their mess too. They can go and date younger women who can't contribute to them anyway. They can go date women who are beneath them or they're not really attracted to climb up and save their little money and then try to go date someone else. They can do all of that. But until they make that decision to become an actual provider male, they're going to keep running in a circle. And women, if you accept them, you're enabling them to last longer. If you don't stop accepting that mess, it's going to continue. That's why I'm telling you, like, bypass. Don't even look their direction. Don't dress so good when you leave the house. They're afraid to approach you. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So yes, I did one video. I think I was talking about, you know, this one girl. She was talking about every time I go somewhere, a broke dude always approaches me, and I am so offended. I'm like, well, what are you dressing like? What do you look like? If a broke dude is confident enough to approach you, you must look broke too. Walk out your house looking like you have money, looking like you have standards. Like you would never date a broke dude. Walk out your house looking like that. Don't walk out your house looking like you can be approached by a broke man. Okay, they won't approach you because they look. First of all, they're gonna see how nice you're dressed, how maintenance you are, and they're not gonna even approach. They're gonna be like, dang, she's gonna look at me like I'm screwed. I ain't gonna approach her. So being fake is the key to get rich man. Yes. Don't you see all these people getting paid in Hollywood? Fake everything. Don't you see all these women with fake boobs, fake butt, fake tan, fake lashes getting paid? Don't you see that? Don't you see it? Don't you see all these dumb women getting paid? Dumb. Not really dumb, but acting dumb. Don't you see reality television? These women are getting paid because men like to feel smart compared to a woman. You know? Even though these women probably are way smarter, they can't act that way around them. You know? So, like when my husband takes me to meet people, I don't act smart at all. Like I'm not trying to impress them. I'm being pretty, and I'm just sitting there. You know, they have no idea I know half the stuff I know. I just smile, like, oh, that's interesting, yeah, and they love it. They eat it up, you know. So, you gotta fake it because that's what they like. Be super fake, but they have to think it's real, so you gotta act. Fakeness isn't a good look. Yes, it is, because every time one walk by, y'all be looking. Ooh, she look good. Anna Nicole Smith played dumb and got paid. Rest in peace, yeah. Can you tell me how to get over an ex? Date somebody better. That's the best way. Date someone with more money and go shopping, go on trips. And then when you get back, you'll be like, what was I thinking? I would, just go and date someone better. That's the only way to get over an ex. You can't sit there and think about an ex. He gone. Go. What else can you do? How can you make him look stupid by dating a better man? Okay? So, okay, I look and laugh because anyone with fake tits and butt has psychological issues. Yeah, but they still getting paid. Society will give you psychological issues. But society will also give you money if you have fake butts and tits. So that's obvious. Like, I don't have that. I mean, I got real stuff. But the women who don't have it, that want it, and they pay for it, chances are some man pay for it. I mean, look, Rob Kardashian paid for Blac Chyna's breast job, liposuction, everything. So that has nothing to do with it. Men are visual creatures. They don't care. You see a stripper in the club and you see she got fake stuff. You still gonna tip her. You might not marry somebody with all that stuff, but you damn sure gonna spend some money on one of them. Men are visual because if you see an ugly woman, you're gonna say, ooh, she's ugly. You see a pretty woman, you're gonna, ooh, look, she looks good. It's like, I wonder what her personality is like. Let me go over and find out. Right? BXG Thomas, you're gonna date a climber chick. You're gonna date a ladder chick. You're gonna date a chick that you climb up, and then when you save all your little money, you build your credit, you're gonna hop over there and get one of them strippers or women that look up to you, because you won't feel like a man with a woman that is in competition with you, because she's always gonna bypass you, because women naturally who are smart and competitive will always work harder to pass up the man. So, and plus she'll never respect you if you don't make more than her. So you can get you a climber chick. She can mentor you, direct you, teach you stuff. And once you get tired of being her son and student, you're going to go and move forward to a woman that looks up to you and sees you as a man. Okay? So that's just how it happens to everybody. They think they want this type of woman. And then when they get there, dang, I got a new mama. Dang, she trying to figure out everything I'm trying to do. She's trying to give me tips on everything. I can't even make a decision without her anymore, because she thinks she knows more than me now. That's what she's gonna do until you get tired of it. Your credit's good. You got enough money to move. You got you a decent car. You got a couple of promotions thanks to her helping you out, teaching you how to save and do all this stuff and become a responsible man, a builder man. After you've been built up by this climber chick, you're going to go find a chick that you can impress, who doesn't take credit for your success. Okay? You think you want this type of woman. Once you get it, you're going to get tired of it and you're going to be gone. It is true. Watch. Ask any of your older men friends who married a climber chick. You're going to be like, either they're cheating on her, or they're almost about, if they get caught, and she divorces them, they don't have no problems because they don't want to deal with it. So, you can't tell me otherwise. The only type of man that will stay with a woman like that is if he's going into politics. Okay, I need her to be this and that. I need her to be my Michelle Obama. I need her to be this on my side. We're going into politics. We're going into business together. Y'all are a business, right? Donald Trump is the only politician that has a gold digging wife, who don't know nothing, who don't say nothing, who don't stand for nothing. So he never planned on becoming president, really, but now he is. But still, he didn't marry a first lady. He married a Russian mail order bride. Yeah, she runs business and stuff like that, but he gave her all that. So that's not what it's about. And then you see him all through the inauguration telling her to shut up and stuff like that, because she don't need to talk. She's just there for the money, y'all. She don't care about him. She don't even like him. They don't even live in the same house. But she's just there for his money. And he don't even care. That's the funny part about it. He's like, I can't afford another divorce. Oh my God, let me just keep her. It's cheaper to keep her. Please speak more on your thoughts about Obama and Michelle. Obama and Michelle, she was his mentor. She taught him a lot of stuff. I know she's the brains of the operation. He's just you can tell that she tell him what to do. And he likes it. He still got to the highest office, but he likes it. Hello.
Hello, Mom.
All right, but he likes it. That's the difference. Oh, you gonna steal the fruit that you gave me? That's okay. You can have it. You can have it.
I just had a taste of the strawberry.
Okay, you can take it. Bye. Yeah, I think he actually likes it. Like, it turns him on. Like, some guys like that. Some guys get turned on like that. I don't know if you never know. He just might like it. Some guys like it. Some guys don't like it. He was already going to be successful anyway. He was in law school, you know. And so I'm sure he's dated other women before her, and he saw how dedicated she was. She'd make a good mother, blah, 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 blah. They made it to the White House. Their life ain't over yet. You never know what can happen in the future. But I'm just saying, you know, they're in the public eye. They got to pretend. Even if stuff is not how it looks or whatever, they still have to be this perfect example. You never know. Because, like, there was some scandal about him dating some secretary or whatever when he was a senator. So you don't know. What if my man acts feminine? It bothers me. Then it'll make me lose my plate. What if your man acts feminine? It bothers me. Well, maybe he is feminine. Maybe we need to look into that. Maybe we need to suggest a threesome and talk about bringing a man into it and see what he says. Be like, baby, let's have a threesome. I'm gonna invite my friend Tony. Don't tell him Tony's a girl or boy. If you don't ask, that means he might not even care. Like Tony works out. You gonna like Tony. Then bring a man in and see what happens. Or watch him when he's watching like gay guys on TV or something and see what he does. Look through his browser history. Look, what are you researching? If his browser history is clear, that means he clears it, which means he's hiding something. If it's not clear, then you can look through it and see what he's looking at. Yes. Can you take it? Thank you. Bye. I'll be off in a little while. Love you. They love me so much. What if I've had women who come to me and said that their man is gay, but they don't want to leave him. And he's bisexual, but they don't want to leave because he got money and he take care of them and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, everybody puts up with something, but I ain't sleeping with him no more. I used to work for a guy that was gay, had a wife. A long time ago. And she knew. She just didn't care because she got a nice lifestyle. She might have been gay too. I don't know. Okay. Don't date men who don't grow up with a good male role model. That's good advice. Okay. If you're asking me about spiritual stuff, you gotta go into my spiritual channel because I'm talking about this subject right now. Thank you. Okay. So men, chime in. Do you like a woman that's smarter than you, who's always telling you what to do and correcting you, and who has more accomplishments than you, who can compete with you tit for tat, maybe even be more accomplished than you? Would you date someone like that? Would you date a well educated woman who has your degree or higher? Would you? Would you? I have glasses right here and contacts. Oh, let me put on my glasses. Somebody said I need to gold dig for some glasses because I'm blind. I'm on a phone. These words are little. I'm trying to strain to see. It is late at night. Y'all better be happy I'm even reading these comments. Okay. Don't conform to gender roles. If you don't conform to gender roles, then your man is going to be acting like a woman. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Then you're gonna wonder why. Then you're gonna wonder why you're doing everything and he's doing nothing. Okay? So, any woman who does not believe in gender roles is the climb me, pick me. Just, I'm sorry. That's what y'all are. You're a climber. A man will climb your back, and you will be in the comments on Facebook talking about there's no gender roles. I do this and he do that, and you're gonna get picked. You're gonna get picked to be climbed, and then when they finish with you, they're gonna move to someone who expects them to be a man. Okay? Because after they played with you, used you up, climbed you, gotten all your resources, your good information, your good credit, they're gonna be like, now I can't impress her. So I'm gonna go over here to this woman who thinks I'm a man and treats me like a man. Because men cannot pretend that they're not men. It's just nature. Okay, you can pretend all you want as a woman. But at the end of the day, a man wants to be a man and be recognized as a man. They can't be recognized as a genderless, roommate. That doesn't work. Because eventually they're gonna get, bored and want to impress a woman, want to chase a woman, want a challenge, want to feel masculine. They're not gonna sit there and look at you and say, oh, we don't have gender roles around here. Then your son's going to grow up confused, thinking that the woman is the leader and makes all the financial decisions because she makes all the money. And then he'll have no respect for his father. And he might grow up to like men because he didn't learn gender roles. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, if you're a woman and you're talking about you don't want gender roles, don't be mad when your kids come out the closet, when your husband is doing nothing and you're pulling in all the money and struggling and doing all the man's job. Don't be mad. Don't be mad when they leave you for Sharkeisha and is able to impress her, and she do expect him to be a man. Okay? I refuse. I'm not giving no woman my paycheck. Well, if you live in paycheck to paycheck anyway, you're not even a target. Bye-bye. Well, Sharkeisha is not the pick-me name. Sharkeisha is the one that the man has to go to because she's easily impressed. The woman that he's with is the pick-me. The woman that he's with is the one that's pushing him to the next level, who's training him, who's building him up, who's correcting him, who's being his mother, who's trying to get his credit good, who's not expecting him to be a man in the house. That's the pick-me chick. Sharkeisha is the one that want her nails done, hair done, pay her rent, and stuff like that. And since he's got his credit built up, he can go do that for her. He can feel like a man with her. He can take all the credit with her. He can't do it with the pick-me because she created him. She built him. He's only successful because of her. So he doesn't feel like a man, and eventually he's going to want to feel like a man. He's going to leave or cheat or feel like, I need to feel like a man. So any woman that thinks gender roles are not necessary will find out the hard way. I've seen it too many times to know you might get lucky. You might keep your man. But he's probably wanting to feel like a masculine man somewhere. You don't know what he's doing. But if you are constantly trying to build him up and fix him and improve on him, you're building him. And eventually he's going to want to have all the credit. And he can't have that with you. You can't enable somebody. So, yeah. Pygmies are the worst because that means they're desperate. Or they were just taught wrong. They were taught that they're supposed to build a man up. Like they're some Legos or something. Your man's supposed to already be built up when he comes to you. Otherwise, he doesn't value you. Why would somebody come up to you incomplete? That's like somebody trying to sell you something, but they don't have the product, but they want your money. I'll order it online. I don't trust you, So, Sharkeisha ain't too proud to play dumb half of the time. She isn't even playing. Yep. And you know, whenever you get left or cheated on by your man, it's always with someone beneath you. Someone that you can't even believe he would mess with. Oh, ugh. You know, but she made him feel like a man, and you didn't. That's all they really want. Okay. So playing dumb or being dumb, if you're actually dumb, you probably get lucky and don't even know why. You're like, dang. I did good for myself. I'll surprise my guy every now and then by courting him. That makes my stomach turn. What? I'll surprise my guy every now and then, but courting him. Okay. I was read that wrong. Okay. Yeah, you don't court a man. That's their job. Yeah, birthdays, gifts every once in a while that cost less than this much amount of money. Yes, fine. But as long as they're gifting you as well at the same time and doing way more for you, every 5 gifts he gives you, maybe give him one small one. Okay? Every 5 gifts, give him a small one. Men don't care about the gifts if they already paid. They care about, are you thinking about them? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Hi, Shira. What is the role of women supposed to have other than looking good, being submissive, and taking care of the kids? Well, the role that a woman's supposed to have is stacking her money. Okay, you could be doing all of that and have a bank account, a savings account, stacking your money, investing, money market accounts, playing. Investing in stocks online and building money online. You know, starting an online business. You don't have to just do those things. You can start your own business, but don't ever tell him how much you make. You know, that's it. Smart women can play dumb, but they got money in their accounts more than their husbands sometimes. You know what I mean? So, someone told me today, I did a consultation with this lady today. She said, some guy married this lady who was very submissive, you know, stayed married, had a kid, 18 years. As soon as that kid was grown, she divorced him, took half his money, went open up her own business. She stuck in there for 18 years, being submissive, cooking, cleaning, had kids, was a housewife. As soon as that child turned 18, she divorced, got the settlement, because he was wealthy. Went and started her own business. That's just it. Yes, Sasha?
There's an old choir singing pop songs by.
An old choir singing pop songs by who?
Like you see me rolling.
Oh, they're singing hip hop?
Yeah.
That's funny. He said there's old people in the choir singing hip hop. Yeah, so women, know your role, but be smart. Like, you don't have to really be dumb. Just play dumb. Like, you might need money for this one day and this one day, but you're really stacking it to start your own business and investing. Once you start investing, got that money market account, then you can, do whatever you need to do. Sorry. Oops. Sorry, y'all. Someone texted me and I pressed the wrong button. So, yeah, like for me, I'm a housewife. That's what I put. I'm a housewife, but I get paid, So I don't have to leave my house to get paid. I don't have to work for nobody to get paid. Being able to stay home gives you time to do what you need to do. It gives you time to figure out what you want to do. It gives you time to say, hey, maybe I could start an online business or do this and that. So the women that don't do anything and don't save anything or don't go to school or use that time to do something, they're setting themselves up just in case something happens. You should always have a plan B, a backup plan, or something like that, Hmm. But don't lose the gender roles, because when you lose the gender roles, you're gonna have to start pulling the man's weight eventually, because there are no gender roles. Oh, when the garbage is full, he gonna look at you. We ain't got no gender roles. You can take that garbage out. Okay? No, I have gender roles in my house. I don't do certain things. I will never do certain things. I will let that trash fill up till it overflows until he takes it out. I don't touch trash in my house. Okay? Um, I have strict gender roles. He pays all the bills. I'm the woman. That's it. You know? If you don't lay the law down in the beginning and then try to change it later on, you're gonna have some issues. Lay the law down from the get go. Look, I'm not with you because I want to pay bills. Right? So make sure you set the law in the beginning. Like, look, when I marry someone, I want gender roles. I want to be the woman of the house, the lady of the house. I don't want to touch trash, blah 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 blah. I don't want to pay any bills. I don't want to do any of the things that a man said. I don't want to mow the lawn. I don't want to do that. Okay? I just want to be a housewife. I want to look pretty. I want to dress nice. Play dumb. What you're really saying is, I don't want to do your job. Okay? That's for you. Okay? I think I took the trash out 3 times since I've been married, or since I've been with my husband, because he was out of town or sick. That's it. But I don't touch trash. Only those emergency situations I will, but any other time I don't touch it. So if you have kids already, how do you get the man then? You got to go for ugly and old if you already got kids. They'll be happy to have you. You can't go for somebody young and cuter than you, because they can obviously get someone without kids. You know what I'm saying? So go for old, ugly, and rich. They don't mind kids. They just want to be in the presence of you. If you look good, if you still look good, the older and uglier you go, the more acceptance you will have. Plus, they're paid. Your kids won't want for anything. Yeah, but you can't treat them like they're old and ugly. You gotta treat them like they're young and good looking. That's how you get the money. You make an old man feel young again. You ever heard an old man say, "Ooh, you make an old man feel young again. You can have all my money." That's what they like. Old men date young women to make them feel good again. Shira, does your husband open the car door? Of course he does. Hello. Hi, Layla.
I sent you something hilarious.
Did you email me?
No, I texted you.
That's what messed up my live feed on the phone?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still live. Okay. I'll read it.
Read it?
I'll read it when I'm off.
Just say click the link.
Oh, I'll have to click it. Layla emailing me. Or texting me. Yeah, so if you can make an old man feel young again, he gonna give you all his money, because he's paying to feel young. He's paying to feel youthful. He look at you and he don't remember he's old. He's like, "Ooh, I got young woman to look at." He don't even feel old until he looks in the mirror, and then you remind him that you need some money. Mm-hmm. This is stupid. I should be ashamed of myself. I'm not ashamed, because it's the truth. Like, it seriously is. You don't like the truth? I'm sorry. But this is the real world. Y'all could be politically correct. Y'all can have these fake morals that no one lives by. Y'all can think what y'all want to think. But when it comes down to everything, this is how it is. This is just how it is. You have these women who feel guilty for knowing their value and worth because men like you will say that this is wrong, but you don't have any problem doing worse to women, or using them or lying to them to get what you want. So I don't feel like it's anything is wrong with it. I think it's perfectly okay. If you're dumb enough to fall for it, or if you're lonely enough to fall for it, or thirsty enough to pay for it, then what's the big deal? These people are not being robbed. You know, they're not being forced to do things. They want to do it. And it's not free. It's only free from basic women who don't value themselves. It's not free for me. It's not free for a bunch of women that I know. It always costs. And it's definitely not free if you get it pregnant. So I don't know who you messing with, but you probably most men probably don't even want that if it's free, you know. And it's not free all the time. You know, it might be free for the first 5 times until it gets pregnant. Now you got to pay for it for 18 years. Okay, so you keep thinking it's free. There's always a catch. Yeah, I don't have any of the morals that you try to put on women. I don't have them. They're gone. Like I throw them in the trash. And I made my own. So, and it seems to work out better, you know, when you can create your own morals. It seems to work out for your own benefit. People that live by other people's morals, they don't benefit from them. You make your own morals, you benefit from it. Yes, Sasha?
Another hug.
Another hug?
It's hug time.
All right, Sasha. Can y'all stop interrupting me? Because it's going to take me longer to finish. Love you. Y'all need to go to sleep. Messing up my hair. But yeah, our morals, if you create your own morals, you'll benefit. If you go by somebody else's morals, especially man-made morals created by a man, they're not to help you. They're not to help you. Not everyone agrees with your little miss. You need to grow up. Oh, blah, 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 blah. A lot of guys okay. As soon as I hear a man say, I want a smart woman who can teach me something, I want someone who can build with me, I automatically think he's broke. Like, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, broke. As soon as I hear, I want an independent woman I can build with, broke. That's all I hear. I just hear broke. I'm like, you can't do it on your own? Like, I can't be impressed by that. I don't want to help you build. You know, and any woman that hears that, broke should go off in your mind. Broke. You need me? No, I don't want you to need me. I want you to want me. I want to need you. I want you to improve me. I don't want to improve you. I'm not your mother. You know? So, I don't want to have to worry about doing a man's job, being with a man, you know? So, whenever I hear men talk about that stuff, I already know he's broke. He's probably in a 5-figure job and looking to get to 6 figures through a woman. That's all I know. So, automatic turn off. If I see build up, struggle, independent, I'm out. Like, I'm already telling the girls that I do consultations with. You hear those 3 words? Next. So, nope. So, like, guys, if you're wondering why the old guys are getting all the young women, it's because they can afford it. They can afford it. They got paid. They got the money. They know what women like. They've lived long enough on the planet to understand that this is what we want. You know, some women still are looking for love. They're the younger women. You know, go for 23 and under, 22, 24 and under. If you still looking for love after 25, you know, good luck with that. Not saying you can't get it, but you should be focused on, you know, future lifestyle, you know, living better than love. Because you should have had love in your teenage years, your puppy love years, your young adult years, dating, in your 20s. You should have had your love then. When you get married, that's a business decision. That's a lifestyle choice. That's a setup for your future generations. You don't marry for love only. You marry for finance. You marry for stability. You marry for future generations. You don't marry only for love, okay? You already had love. You should have had it already. You should have experienced it. You should have been heartbroken a few times. You should know the game before you get married. You get married for the wrong reason, which is only based on one thing. When that one thing starts to fade or get old or boring, then you're left with nothing. So don't marry for that one reason, because it doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't ensure your kid's future. It doesn't ensure your future. Okay, someone must be talking about my kids. So Shira explains to her girls that their dad might be old, but the reason they get what they want and live nice, so they understood. Then show them how good their life is. Okay, yeah. I had to drive them to a bad neighborhood to show them how other kids live, who are dating guys, whose moms are dating guys their own age. Okay, with the same or less. I had to drive them to that neighborhood and show them, look, you want mama to have a young husband? Let me show you what we got to pick from. Let me drive you over here. Lock your doors. Okay? This what we got to pick from. Y'all want to live over here? Y'all want roaches? No, mommy. Okay, well then, that's why mommy had to marry an old man. Okay? Y'all want this type of guy to be your dad? No. Even the parents at my kids' school, their husbands are always older. You don't ever see them at the same age. It's very rare. The man's always at least 10 years older, especially in those type of environments where there's nice houses and high income. The man always goes for younger, who have money. You know what I'm saying? Very rare, unless they're marrying for money themselves, because like a lot of people, they will marry a woman with just as much money as they do to build family wealth. A lot of people have been doing that, but the woman won't be as beautiful. She'll just have her money, and they can do big things. They can go yacht. They can have other houses on the other coast. That's the thing he sacrifices to build the family wealth into a bigger empire. That's a whole new video. But what I'm saying is, the majority of people with the average wife who don't make as much money as the husband is always 10 years or more older than the wife. Okay? Plus, men mature slower mentally than women do when it comes to wanting to settle down. We have the biological clock. So they might be 32, but they act 22. You know what I'm saying? They might be 42 acting 32. So that's why you got to go up. If you want someone to settle down, they got to be done with the club. They got to be done chasing women. They got to be young, they have to be done with trying to be young and hanging out. They got to be done with all that. You're not going to find a 20-something-year-old that's done with that. You're not going to find a 30-something-year-old that's done with that. You're going to have to go 45 and up if you want someone that's starting to become serious about their life, who's making moves in their career, who's getting paid, who's getting that 401k, who has a career, who's building credit and getting a house and stuff like that. That's what women want when they're young. But men don't want that stuff. They just want to play around until they wake up one day and say, hey, I'm old, it's time for me to get a wife. And they're not going to go pick someone their own age. They're going to go for somebody younger. Why? Because they can impress them. Okay? So that's why you got to act dumb, so that the men can think you're impressed by them. Even though you can run circles around them, you got to act dumb so they don't know that. Let them find out later on when it's too late. Surprise them one day and just be like, oh, know the square root of such and such and such and such and such. Yes, you didn't know I studied calculus. You know I was pre-med. You didn't know I was. Oh yes. Go back to your idiot status and get what you want. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of doctors who marry nurses, because they're superior to them. You know, they might know similar things, but the surgeon knows way more than the nurse. So he feels superior. He makes way more money than the nurse. He's not going for the next surgeon because he can't impress her. He's going for the one that looks up to him. The one that calls him doctor. Yeah. Oh, I have my hater in the audience. Hey, Ashira Star Goddess hater, how are you? I love your picture. It's so beautiful. Anyways, y'all, if y'all see a person called Ashira Star Goddess hater that has my picture in the comments, that's that troll Queen Nefertiti that I trolled really bad a couple of videos ago. So she made a whole page called Ashira Star Goddess hater or something like that. But that's okay, you know. Doesn't bother me. At least she got my picture up. Looks good. If you have that much dedication to being my #1 troll, I salute you, you know. It's like a fan club in reverse. It's like, I'm your #1 fan, but instead I'm your #1 troll. So I'll take it. Okay. Conscious men just want conscious. Yeah, so let's make sure they pick up the tab. Yep. Hater, Shearer, you're still pop. Anyway, I gotta go. I've been on this thing too long. I'm gonna be on for like 5 more minutes and then I'm out. So you want to know anything? I'm going out tomorrow. I might live stream. I'm actually going out with one of the girls in my group, and you know, she was a YouTube viewer. You know, we met through YouTube, Facebook, and all that stuff. She was one of my clients, and she just happened to live close to me, so we're gonna go hang out tomorrow night. I might do live wherever we end up and show you guys what's going on and say hi, you know. Oh, I want to go. You know, we're thinking about doing a Houston meetup. Maybe once a month, like during, you know, after school starts back up. But it's going to be very private. So, we'll talk about it in the group, okay? We'll talk about it in the group if y'all are in the group. But, you know, it's going to be private, just like the group. It's not going to be like an announcement on my channel. Okay? So, yep. Yeah, we don't allow pygmies in our group. Like, you can't get in there if you if you don't want gender roles. If you want to pay half the bills, you can't get in. You gotta be strictly gold digging to get into the group. You can't get in if you still struggling with your baby daddy, unless you really are dedicated to learning and improving yourself and leaving that person that's not benefiting you, you know, unless you're doing that. Yeah, but this group is to show you how to do that, how to get to that next level. Like I said in the beginning of this video, we've had women go from dating a broke man to dating a multimillionaire within a matter of months. Okay? Months. Not even I don't even know how long this group been open, but it hasn't been very long. So that's a miracle. It's not really a miracle. It's just women don't know their value, and they've been messing around with the wrong dudes, giving away stuff free when they could been getting compensated, trips, jewelry, money, rent paid, purses, all those things in return. They've been giving themselves away for free and paying a man. So, yes, I'm teaching women how to get what they deserve, and they're getting it. They're getting more than me. I'm like, dang, you good, but they're nice, they love what I teach. They send me gifts, so I'm very appreciative. They share the wealth. So I'm just happy to help. I always say there's women out there that look 20 times better than me, but they're paying for men, or they're with a broke man. You can be out there living 20 times better than me. So I teach them how to go do it, and they go and do it, and they're like, I'm so glad I found your channel. I'm so glad I'm in this group. I'm so glad. Look what I got, flashing all their gifts and nice things that guys are buying them, cash, flowers, purses, trips, tickets. And I'm like, dang, wow. That's what I like to see. I don't like to see women struggling and crying over some broke dude. Okay? I like to see them living happy, getting what they deserve, getting treated like goddesses instead of people who are just there to pay the rent. I like seeing them get what they deserve. It makes my heart pitter patter. Okay? It's kind of like you watching your children grow up. I'm not saying y'all are my children, but it's like watching your children grow up and being successful instead of being, unsuccessful. Like, would you want your child or your daughter to grow up and pay for some grown man while he cheats on her and, she's crying all the time? Or would you rather her date someone who's going to lavish her, give her a great lifestyle, take her to trips, out of the country, buy her, car, nice things. She don't have to do nothing. Okay? You want her to be spoiled. You want your child to be treated that way. You will be like, well, that's how you're supposed to be treated. And they will never be able to move backwards. They will never be able to date a broke man after that. They're only going to be aiming high. And so you already know her kid's going to be taken care of. And you don't have to worry. You don't have to sit up at night thinking, is she going to live? Is she going to survive? Does she have food? Is her rent paid? You ain't got to worry about that. So, my daughter is going to have a balanced brain. Okay, she's going to have a balanced brain, and then she's going to come across a guy who wants to climb her back. Okay? She's going to date a guy that wants to climb her back, dog her out, get good credit, leave her for the next chick. If that's what you're going to train your daughter to do, and she comes to you heartbroken and wondering why she paid, mortgage and half the bills with some dude that was going to leave her eventually because, he didn't want a pygmy, then that's fine. Teach her that. I'm going to teach my child and my kids, you don't date anybody unless they can do for you. Be single or date up. Don't date in between. Okay? I said, yeah, fall in love in your 20s. After 25, get serious. Get serious about this money, because who you marry or who you end up with and who you deal with is going to show you the next 5 to 10 years of your life. You dealing with a broke loser, you're going to have a broke loser life. Okay? I'm not training my kids to be no pygmy. They're going to make money of their own too, but they're not going to be with some guy that's less than them or equal. They got to be with somebody better. Okay? Now I'm going to tell them, look, don't come here with no broke man. I will tell him straight up, you broke. You're not good enough for my daughter. I will never respect you. And she's going to be like, but Mom, I love him. I said, it's okay. I love broke dudes before too, but just don't marry him. When you get tired of his brokenness, you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. Get through that phase first, baby. Go love him. Y'all go try to eat. Y'all go to the movies. Y'all go try to go to concerts. Y'all struggle together. When you get tired of struggling, come on. I'm gonna help you. We gonna go out together. Yeah, someone did create a channel just for me. I feel so special. Like, you have to have a lot of time, energy, create a new email just to hate on me. That's just so awesome. Like, that takes, you got to really love someone to hate them that much first. I don't know. Lately, if you're not submissive and do what people think is right, and you don't fit into a box, either A, you're going to be hated, or B, you're going to be loved, or C, both. So I'm C. I'm hated and loved. And that's the balance that you need. You can't be loved by everyone, because if you're loved by everyone, eventually it's going to get boring. Like, okay, she's old news. Bye. There's nothing I can learn from her. Yeah, she's a perfect example of this, and that. Okay, great. But if you're hated by some and loved by others, then you have something to grow with. You have something to talk about. You have something to discuss. You have something to challenge you, So that's a good thing. You ever saw those pop stars and, goody two-shoe actresses or musicians, and after a while they start fading out and getting boring and no one's talking about them no more until they start acting crazy and doing outlandish things to get attention, and now all of a sudden they're the hottest thing in social media. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have the good with the bad. Just comes with the territory. Okay. All right, y'all. No one's gonna gold dig you. Okay? You're not even a target. You don't have no gold. Like, all these broke guys are talking about, ain't nobody gonna gold dig on me. Well, duh, you ain't got no gold. Like, you don't have gold. You're not even a target. We're making these videos because we know real men with money don't watch them. Exactly. Like, y'all, the men that are targets don't watch these videos. They don't care. They know what the game is. Okay? The only way that you would be a target is if the girl just didn't like you and you liked her and she just wanted to get rid of you, but you wouldn't take no for an answer. So she said, well, I might as well use them. If she's out of your league and you're chasing after her, you and she shows interest in you, you might be a target. But other than that, you're not. She might just be mad and wanting to take her anger out on some random dude and take your little paycheck. Some women won't mess with men who live paycheck to paycheck because they will feel guilty for taking their rent. They will only mess with men who can throw money away like it's nothing. Okay? So don't be upset. Don't think that we're going to gold dig on your little call center check, because that's not what gold diggers go for. They go for gold. Okay? So you don't have nothing to worry about. You're safe. Rest assured. We don't want that chick. Okay? We don't want your direct deposit. Okay? You're safe. You're good. We don't want that. We don't want it because it's not enough anyway. Like, your whole check couldn't even buy a purse. You know what I'm saying? Your whole check could not even buy the type of purse most gold diggers carry. That's all I'm trying to say. Your little check, you would have to save up 3 checks to buy her one purse. So why would you be a target? So anyway, I mean, you could possibly be a target if the woman was evil enough to take your check. But most women who are real gold diggers, they don't aim that low. A practice gold digger, yeah, who's practicing, yeah, she gonna get your little check. She gonna get something out of you. You might can afford, a Michael Kors purse. Not saying Michael Kors is cheap, but that's something that you can afford. But the real gold diggers, they're gonna want way more than that. So you can start off with this, the younger ones. They might want you to buy them something, a little something, something. Take them to the mall, you know, take them to Forever 21, go shopping. You know, that's the pre-gold diggers. They're in practice mode. And when you get the real ones, they're not even gonna look your way. They're gonna be like, okay. Sorry, y'all. I have to be honest, you know, because guys, they really think that they're targets, and they really think that women are still all about this love thing. But after a certain age, it's just not true anymore. It's like, okay, what's next? We will act and pretend all day long. Some women really feel like, you know, genuine, but it's not the type of woman you want. You know, men complain, oh, I can't find a good woman, oh, this, and that. But the type of women that are good women, you bypass. Those are the Pygmy Chicks in the groups who want you, who will support you, who will let you climb their back, you know, after you, then when you get them, you mess over them. So what you say you want, you don't even want. Because when you get it, you mess over it. So that's why, ladies, it's just best to be the other woman that they eventually go to and pay everything for. Okay, skip being the climber Pygmy Chick. Stop trying to be the good woman. The good woman never wins. Ever. Rarely. The bad chick, the gold digger chick, the one who wants him to be a real man and pay for everything, they win at the end of the day. Okay? So skip being the good girl because they don't win. They always finish last. They always get left. Go straight into the woman that they build themselves up with for. Go for being the goal at the end of the rainbow. Like, after he climbs her back, gets the good credit, I always keep saying this, he's going to start looking for other women that look up to him. Be that woman. Don't be the woman who he used. Okay? If you have to choose, don't be a pygmy. Yes. Get paid. I'm just trying to tell y'all, you know, these guys say they want this good girl. They say they want this. And then when they get this, it's like, okay, I don't want it no more. Let me go back to this. I really do want this type of woman. I was so stupid. Duh. You know, we already know this. That's why we're just going to skip that step. We're going to be like, skip. Go. Wait. It's coming. They're on the way. Okay. So I gotta go downstairs now, talk to my husband, and see what happened. Like, he got to meet the mayor tonight. I'm like, oh, hi, how did it go, honey? Like, act interested and play dumb. Like, what's the mayor's name again? So he can hype himself up telling me about it. Oh, really? Let me go make him feel like he's the best thing in the world. Because I just ordered a bunch of clothes online. Let me go give these kids some attention. They keep bringing me food, drinks. Like, I don't even tell them to. They just want to take care of me because I deserve it. I don't know. When you vibrate and you feel like you deserve stuff, it comes to you. You know, people think I'm being conceited and I think too highly of myself. But when you do that, other people think the same way and they bring things to you and you attract things to yourself. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be ugly doing it. And you gotta get up every day and put some makeup on your face, do your hair. I don't know. You gotta do something. You can't attract something to you unless you're putting in the work too. You know what I'm saying? If I looked a mess, my kids would still love me. Yeah, that's unconditional love. But with anybody else, it's not happening. Okay? And even my kids ask me, am I gonna leave the house like that? And I'm like what? They know that I don't leave the house looking crazy. Like, oh, I forgot. Thank you for reminding me, Layla. You know? So, I know you hate me unconditionally. That's why you love me. My hater said that she hated me unconditionally. It does make me feel good. Like, it does make me feel good. I feel like hate is just another degree of love on the opposite end of the scale. That's all it is to me, is a degree. So, thank you. How do you get motivated to put your makeup on when you're home every day? Well, I hold myself accountable. Like, I'll do Snapchat. I'll have to get on camera. You know, if you get on camera every day, you'll put makeup on your face. You know, especially if you're always putting makeup on to be on camera. So it's like, it kind of makes you want to do it because people are going to see you. Some days I'll put less makeup on or barely any, but I always have something on unless I'm sick and I don't even get up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my husband says you look good without makeup, but I still try to stay, you know, looking good, so that, like, he goes out sometimes. He come home early. He be like home early. Like, I guess there wasn't nothing in there to look better than me. Went to the bar, huh? You know, you go out and nobody looks better than your woman, and you going home. You know what I'm saying? Or if nobody is showing you interest like your woman, you're going home. You know, if you gotta work extra hard to get the attention of somebody that's uglier than your woman and don't make you feel good and expects you to do A, B, C, and D and take care of, you know, her tab and stuff, he's like, I'm going home. My wife looks better than you. You know, and the wife don't nag you. The wife is this, the wife is that. You know, he's like showing me her picture off to people at the bar. Like, this is what I'm going home to. That's how you want to be, you know. And the funny thing is, my husband he has a good sense of humor. He calls, like, women that approach him or come up to him or try to talk to him, he calls them scallywags. I'm like, you ain't no pirate. He's like, I already know what they want. They just want money. I'm like, yeah. He said, I know that's what all women want. I was like, yeah. He's like, they're just, but they're scallywags, and I wouldn't date them. You know, it's like, no. That's how he talks. He's like, but they're scallywags. I'm like, okay, you a pirate now? Whatever. He feels the same way about them that I feel about broke men. Like, get away from me. Be gone. I made him stuck up now. Like, he used to be real humble. Now he's stuck up because of me. Like, dang, Jane. I created a monster. All right, I'm gonna see y'all later. I'll try to do live feed tomorrow when we go out. Okay. All right. Bye.